So now moving on to the next source of energy, that is the hydel energy. So this is a conventional source of energy in which we'll be using the kinetic energy of flowing water. We all know that water is flowing with a very high speed. And what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by any body which is in motion. So is our water. So when water is flowing, it possesses kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy of water is used to convert it into electrical energy. So now how does this happen? See, whenever there are water bodies and the water is flowing through them, a barrier is created to hold the water then and there. That means a dam is created, which we all know, that is a dam is created to hold water. And after a sufficient amount of water is held, the inlet, that is, as you can see in the diagram, the inlet is open. So when the water falls from the height, that means it has potential energy, because anything which is at height has potential energy. So the potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy, and as the flowing water that is falling from height attains kinetic energy, there is a turbine attached. So this is the basic phenomena of all the power plants, that a turbine is attached, and then this turbine is attached to the shaft of armature of the generator. And we have studied it in electricity, then that when the turbines are rotated, the shaft of the armature of generator rotates, and when it rotates, the energy, that is the electrical energy, is produced, and this is what we need. So we can't rotate the turbines with our hand, because that is the least amount of electrical energy is used. So we use different sources that has high amount of energy. Like in this case, we are using the hydel energy. So when the kinetic energy, that is the kinetic energy of the flowing water, it falls on the turbine blades, they rotate, and this rotating energy rotates the shaft of the armature that is connected to the generator, and now this electrical energy is stored in the generator and it can be used for various purposes. Now the kinetic energy slows down and the water again joins back into the water bodies. So this was all about the hydel energy and how do we use the hydel energy to convert it into the electrical energy. So now as we are studying that each energy or each source of energy that is producing any form of energy has its pros as well as cons. So even this source of energy, that seems that it might have no cons, but still it has pros and cons. So moving on to the advantages, first, it is free of cost. Second, we only require water to generate electricity, and it can act as a source of electricity for many areas where electrical wires have not yet reached or the conventional methods have not yet reached. So in this case, we can use the water to generate electricity. And the third advantage is that the construction of dam, it controls floods to some extent, not to all, but to some extent. Now moving on to the disadvantages. Firstly, this is very expensive, because crores of rupees are spent to form dam, and dam projects require a huge investment. So if we need to get electricity, first we need to invest a lot of money. Now the second disadvantage of hydel energy plant, that always there is not the availability of such a huge amount of water that can generate the turbine and produce electricity. And third, wherever there is the formation of dam in the water body, there is a loss of flora, damage to flora and fauna, that is our plants, our aquatic plants and animals. And most importantly, in advantages, I said that it can only control floods to an extent. That means if there is an overflow or if there is breakage of dam, it will lead to flood. Remember what happened in 2019 in Kerala. There was overflow and breakage of 3 dams, and for 3 to 4 months the whole Kerala was submerged in water. And the bad was that even the rainfall started, and till now the Kerala is recovering from that loss.